Welcome. It's that time. Come on in, take a seat. Come on in. Come on in. It's that time. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. It is Friday night. It's time to get it started. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome. It's that time. It's that time. It's time. Time to make a change. Okay. Time is on our side. Not really. Hey, hey, welcome. I'm trying to, here we go again. I can't see who's coming on. So again, I am on the laptop and the and my phone. Hey, Kai. Thank you. So yes. There it is. I guess I can go off. It is showing up. So I can cut this off. Good. Good, good, good. I can focus more on the screen. We have probably less than 1 minute left and we will begin. That's right. It's that time. Yes. I can see my people. Hey, Shane. What's up, my guy? Few seconds left, and we shall begin. Hello, sir. Yes. Few seconds left. Oh, I can't wait to get your perspectives on this topic. Yes, let's go. Welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange. It is Friday Night Live. And before I give you all the subject for this evening, I would like to offer a disclaimer as well as house rules. I don't claim to know everything. I am looking forward to your feedback. There is no criticism or judgment here. We are all here to just have dialogue, communication with each other. No wrong comment or answer is the wrong one. Everybody has their own thoughts and opinions about things, and we will respect each other. That comment or have questions or anything. So yes, please be respectful to all of the comments, the questions, and we're gonna go from there. With that being said, tonight's topic is religion and spirituality, or spirituality and religion. And I just want to really open up the floor, if you will, and get you all's perspective on the two. Of course, if you don't have a complete understanding of the two, I will give you definitions for both, and then I have some questions that I would like to pose. Again, if you are just joining, welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange. This is Friday Night Live, and we are talking about spirituality and religion and the difference between the two. Again, I want to open the floor and get your perspectives. Hi, Julie. Get your perspectives on the topic. So with that being said, religion is an institution that has a set of organized practices and structured belief system shared by and among those who are members of the institution. I'll read it again for clarity. Religion is an institution that has a set of organized practices and a structured belief system shared by and among those who are members of the institution. Spirituality is about one's soul and inner self. Being spiritual involves holding one's personal set of beliefs and practices and searching for the purpose of life. Again, spirituality is about one's soul and inner self. Being spiritual and involves holding one's personal set of beliefs and practices and searching for the purpose of life. We are talking about spirituality and religion. And again, I just want to open the floor and just have some dialogue about the two and get your perspectives on both religion and spirituality. So the first question I want to pose is, what are your thoughts about religion? What are your thoughts about religion? I'll just go ahead and get started. Maybe you all are pondering on the question at hand. What are your thoughts about religion? So with religion being an institution that has organized practices, I grew up in a religious denomination, and there were set organized practices and structured, there is a structured belief system in that religious organization. And there are some things that have changed along the way as it pertains to religion and the times changing. Kai said she feels like religion is man-made. Okay. Can you expound on that a little bit more? Why do you feel like it's man-made? What are your thoughts? Why do you have that feeling that it's man-made? Hi, Dr. Lewis. Welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange. Welcome, welcome. My locker mate at Flint Northern. You remember that, Liddell? So yes, the question is, what are your thoughts about religion? And I was waiting for Kai to speak about why she believed that religion is man-made. And I mean, I have my own thoughts about why she may say that. To control the masses, says Shane. Okay. To control the masses. That is what religion, that is your thoughts about religion. Okay. And I can see that. And I guess it all depends on the church or the religious. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's something on my screen. Uh-oh. And then I swiped y'all away. Oh, that's the comments. I'm sorry, y'all. So I see something and it looks like there is something on my face, but that is the comments there. Yeah. But anyway, I can definitely see where both of you all are coming from, because there are a lot of practices in religious institutions that are man-made. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of practices are man-made. And then, Shane, if I can, I would like to know how or why you feel like it's to control the masses. What are your thoughts as far as controlling the masses? What are your thoughts? Religion is set up based around what denomination you come from. Okay, I can respect that. And again, a lot of things have changed as it pertains to religion. There are a lot of practices that have changed and that have been made up, or because I remember growing up and we couldn't wear pants in the sanctuary. And after a couple years, things changed and we were allowed to wear pants. I've heard, you can't wear red nail polish in some organizations or religions or churches or however you want to call it. Hi, Share Bear. How are you, cousin? Melvin, hey, cousin. Shane said judgment and rules came from the church to make you feel a what, Shane? A certain way. So Shane said judgment and rules came from the church to make you feel a certain way. Okay. And all I can do is respect your comments. Welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange. Both of my cousins are in the place to be. The Key and Kai Exchange. We are talking about spirituality and religion, and the question is, what are your thoughts about religion? So Kai says she believes that it's man-made. Shane said that he believes that it is to control the masses. And I asked them both why they felt the way they did, and they've both given explanations as to why. In my experience, and I can only speak from my experience, there's been a lot of judgment, and especially in the church that I come from. And I don't in any way, shape, or form want to make this seem like this live is about putting down one religious organization or another. I am just speaking on my personal experience, and I have to agree with both Shane and Kai, who has given their answers about what the thoughts are as far as religion. And again, I have to agree with both. Hey Bree, welcome, welcome. We're talking about spirituality and religion. And so the question again is, what are your thoughts about religion? So again, in my experience, I have seen judgment, criticism. I have seen some negative behavior, and that's not in just one organization. And like I was saying before, things have changed a lot. I spoke about how we couldn't wear pants, and in certain religions, wearing red nail polish, and even at one point, this lipstick that I have on, my nails being bright pink, all of those things were frowned upon. And again, things have changed from the old way to the new way. So religion has changed. I have seen judgment. I have seen people be ostracized for the things that they wear, the way that they come into the house of God. And again, this is no way, shape, or form to down any religious organization. Again, I'm just sharing my experiences and getting feedback from you all as far as what you think about religion and spirituality. So yes, things have changed. Things, to me, a lot of things have gotten worse. A lot of organizations are so far away from the truth, so far away from God, and just doing things their way. Bree said, definitely judgment until it's a personal experience towards them for them to react differently. Okay. And that is a lot of people's experience. A lot of people have experienced judgment in the church, you know, being talked about or not being in a popular group. So much has changed, and I'm not a pastor or an evangelist or anything like that. But again, in my experience, you know, things have changed. Hi, Trey. Shane said exactly what I was talking about. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like I said, I can only respect your comments and speak from my own experience, but that is definitely what turns people away from church, because there is judgment. And the Bible, or the good book, says, come as you are. And you're supposed to be able to come as you are. The place where I fellowship now, if I walked into church with this t-shirt, well, maybe not this t-shirt, and these blue jean shorts that I have on, I mean, it would be like I'm walking into my own house. There is no judgment. You know, people come as they are. Being a pastor's granddaughter, having children out of wedlock, I was judged. Okay, come on and talk about it, Bree. So again, in your personal experience, you experience judgment. And, you know, for some choices that you made, and again, so many people have experienced the judgment and being ridiculed and pushed out of the church because of judgment. And those type of things do not come from God. Shane said it's about worship. And we'll come back to you, Shane. Bree said, definitely, honestly, it made me change my church home. For sure. For sure. There are things that go on in religious institutions, and I mean, it will make you question, you know, is this really happening? I've seen things on social media that just blows my mind. And I always say that in so many institutions, the reverence for the house of God has completely gone out the door, window, the back door. It has gone. There is no reverence whatsoever, from dancing to secular music being played during a church service. And Shane, I'm just going to take the first part of your comment where you said it's about worship. And I'm going to add to that and say worship and your relationship with God. Kai said everything has changed. I agree. And I have said that over and over. So much has changed in churches, in religious organizations. So many things are man-made. There is so much judgment, and I mean things that, I mean, now you can literally get kicked out of the church for whatever they choose. Shane said it's about worship and sharing your spiritual path, faith, and growth. Absolutely. And like I said, to just add to that, and your relationship with God, of course, it's personal, but it's like Shane said, it's about worship and sharing your spiritual path. So fellowship, that's what it's about, is fellowship. And how do you fellowship if you're in a place where there's cliques and there's groups and you don't fit in or you don't dress the part? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because I've seen it all. Bree said the wording, come as you are, definitely have different meaning. It does. In a lot of places, it does. And we are supposed to feel comfortable and come to God, Bree. And actually, that is in the Bible. Bree said you can't, because how? Exactly. Like, again, the things that I have witnessed from my own personal experience and some things that I've seen on social media, it's like, you know, how are we supposed to be fishermen trying to get people to come in? Keisha, hey, how are you? Welcome, welcome. But how are you supposed to be a fisherman and bring people in, and all of this stuff is going on? And yes, it's about a personal relationship, but what if it's somebody that doesn't have the knowledge that you have? They're not on the spiritual level that you are. And they come, and because they look different, they dress different, they have different thoughts and views, you know, they're talked about, or, you know, fingers pointed, or all that type of thing. So my next question is, which we've already acknowledged, how do you think religion has changed? And I said, you know, there are so many things that I've seen, and there is no reverence for the sanctuary at some of these religious institutions. And I mean, a lot has gone too far. Bree said church is supposed to be welcoming and love to fellowship, to get closer to the Lord. Absolutely. Kai said the church is so quick to judge, and that's why so many people are turned away. I agree with that too. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it with my own eyes. And I've seen people get dogged because they just don't know. Because they don't understand, or they're just coming in. And what what I've seen a lot of times is a newcomer, somebody coming to fellowship or whatever the case may be, and then the next thing you hear is, I'll never be back. I'll never come back because somebody said something out the way. You know, just being, instead of fellowshipping or, you know, explaining or talking to or giving clarity, they're treated in a judgmental way. They're talked about. You know, there's whispers, and that stuff is no secret. You know, and especially now, like I said, there's so many cliques and things going on. And that's been happening for years. It's not like you have to be, you know, the best singer. You have to be the best dressed, you know, I mean, it's a lot. And I can go on and on about that. I mean, we could probably spend days talking about this, because, I mean, it has changed so much. So I'm going to ask, and if you are willing to share for my people that are here, and even if you watch this in a replay, I want to know what some things are that you have experienced in religion. What are some things that you have experienced in religion or a religious institution? Shane said, my church was family names. My church was family names. Shane. Bree said, it's more of the members and more of, how do you say things? It's more of the members it's more of the members though, and more of how you say things. For sure, there is a certain way to say things. There is an appropriate way to talk to people. And my mom often says, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. She references that all the time, that scripture all the time. With love and kindness have I drawn thee. So it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you smell like. With love and kindness. So the person can grow and get to a point where they feel welcome and they want to change because that's what's on their heart. But when you say to somebody, or you turn your nose up, or even you know, it's not always the older people, but the younger people too. You know, people come to visit, and, you know, a person looks a certain way or smells a certain way, and it's, you know, or you move in your seat or something like that. Julie said, too much gossip in the church now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Too much gossip. Too much back and forth. Yes. Too much gossip. Too much lies. There's too much of a lot of things. Yes, there is. Shane said, the church that I went to, it was all about your family name. Your last name and how you were looked at as far as wealth, placement in the church choir, deacons, and chosen assistants. Wow. Wow is all I can say. I have to read that again. I am really, wow. The church that I went to, it was all about your family name, your last name, and how you were looked at as far as wealth. Is that a thing? Do people really judge you based on how much money you have? Why is that? Why is that? Why are these churches so hung up on your wealth? Wow. Hi, Courtney. Welcome to the Key and Kai Exchange. Kai said, I've been to a church where everything was taught from shouting to speaking in tongues. Oh. Everything was taught from shouting to speaking in tongues. What about biblical principles? What about prayer life? What about a closer relationship? The things that are supposed to be taught. I really want to know you all's perspective, because this came up a couple weeks ago and I said, oh, we are definitely going to get into it because so much has changed, and I'm really, really holding back again because I want to, see what you all have to say and some of your experiences. I have heard, and these, Kai is here, but I have heard how experiences have changed individuals because they did not understand what was being taught, and then was kind of forced to do certain things or certain practices and had no understanding behind it. And, as, again, a person, a newcomer that doesn't have any idea about what's going on, and then you start forcing, or first, there is where they want you to come in. So you're treated a certain way, people reach out. And then what happens with that too, I'm going to put a pin in that. What happens when people come to visit or they come to be a part of the fellowship and they come that time and they never hear anything or no one ever reaches out and all that? All of this stuff, it has changed so much. Things have changed so much. And again, the things that I see on social media that is happening in the church, and I don't know if all of you all have seen I believe he was a visiting preacher, and he came and literally cussed the pastor out in the church. Like, so much has changed. It is almost unreal. Like, and people try to, and I would just keep it general and say people try to force religion on people and force them to become a part of something they have no understanding about. And that's why there is a lot of confusion. That's why people jump from place to place, because they don't have a clear understanding. And I am just being honest. People don't have an understanding, or they are forced into situations in certain religious organizations, and they lose it. So they go somewhere else. And then they're told about this organization and the way they do things and what to do and what not to do. And they're lost. They're lost. Kai says, so disrespectful. And if I remember correctly, he cussed him out due to protocol. Yeah. But again, even in that case, of course, we know better to pray for him. But, to go that far? Hey, Ma. Welcome, welcome. We are talking about religion and spirituality. And right now, I have asked the question, what are your thoughts on religion? How do you think religion has changed? And what are some things you have experienced in religion? And again, it's not to down any particular religious organization. We're just having a conversation, because I said, things have changed so much in the churches, in these churches. So many things, Kai said it earlier, so many things are man-made. the practices and things that go on in the church. And I strongly believe, you know, that a lot of the practices are man-made. And some of the things, you know, we talked about judgment. There's a lot of judgment. We also talked about gossiping. There's a lot of gossiping. And these things are not what the church is made up of. It's not what it's supposed to be. All churches are not like that. And all pastors are not trying to take your money. All pastors are not trying to, you know, rob the people of God blind. They're not in it for monetary gain. You know, some preachers and pastors honestly do have the heart of God, after God's own heart. And they want to see people prosper and do well, and they're sincerely doing the work and the ministry it takes. I know that things have changed as far as COVID, where, you know, we're not now things are more laxed. Because as of today, NGM, they took the mask mandate. They took away the mask mandate. So it's optional to wear a mask. So we're getting back to some type of normalcy. So maybe we will see, you know, more people reaching out and, you know, trying to draw more people in. We're definitely going to see how that changes. Bree said one thing people do is judge the pastor for what they drive or live, but in reality, some of these pastors have worked for a living. Come on, Bree, talk about it. Absolutely. A lot of these pastors have careers and jobs and are educated. So it's not every pastor, it's not, you know, every first family in a church where these things are happening. And again, it's not to put any specific organization down, because I have seen it across the board. You know, and I don't want to name a religious organization personally, so that I don't offend anyone that may be affiliated. But again, you know, we have seen where, well, we all know what I'm talking about. But priests, you know, molesting children, little boys. And again, so much has changed. So much has changed. And that's all I can say. Kai said, everywhere is different. You have to find the right fit for you. Absolutely. And I believe, you know, not only the right fit, but you should definitely pray about if that's the place for you to be. Because it could be the right fit, and that may not be where you're supposed to be. Bree said people don't want to pay tithes because they feel it'll help the pastor in his living. For sure. For sure. And that has turned a lot of people away. I do agree. You know, again, I want to go back to what Kai said, you know, as far as finding the right fit. You have to go where God leads you. And sometimes you are not in the right place. And I've had my own, again, personal experience. The church that I grew up in, my spirit wasn't being fed. I wasn't growing. I was just stuck in a place. And, you know, I found myself, you know, miserable and frustrated and angry. And it just didn't help. It was time for me to move. Mama Pat says some pastors do want just money, but that's an individual preference for sure. Bree said, but if you giving from the heart, you can't hinder your blessings based on what you think. Yeah, and then, you know, we all should be, well, I can't say, because again, it's everybody's own personal choice. to give, but you're supposed to give a 10% of your earnings. And, you know, if God leads you to give something, then that's definitely what you should do. Bree said, people tend to judge but get mad when you're judged. Yes, for sure. People can dish it but can't take it. That is the truth. Julie said, some church members frown upon you if you don't pay those tithes and offerings. Well, yeah, I agree. Some members, some churches, period. Again, I saw a story where a young lady was in need of help, and she called the church out and was saying all these things about the church. She needed help financially. She had just found out that she had cancer, and so she was paying a lot of medical bills and things like that, and she was getting behind. So she went to the church for help, and they told her that she hadn't paid her tithes in 4 months, so they couldn't help her. So there are places where, and this is a pretty big church from what I understand, and they told her they couldn't help her because she hadn't paid her tithes. So, you know, she put them on blast. But that's a lot of the things that are happening. A lot of these churches, you know, again, on social media, there's a guy that's exposing pastors and well-known people in the church, and a lot of homosexual activity that's going on in the church. And he is exposing those people. I think that's Delilah. Hey, love. Bree says, sometimes people don't have a dime to give, but they're for the word and get judged. Yes, absolutely. You know, people, there is people on hard times, and they just want a word. You know, maybe they don't have the tithes and the offering, and they should not be judged. Hey, Delilah, how you doing, sweetheart? Thank you for joining. I'm glad to see you here. Julie, it is messed up. Like I said, you know, I have seen so many things and heard so many things on social media, you know, and it's just people are, you know, blasting these places, and you look in the comments and so many people say, yeah, that's why I stopped going. Religion versus spirituality. A lot of people have turned to spirituality versus religion because they don't want to be a part of an organization where they're being judged. Bree said, Kai, yes, because different pastors deliver messages different, and I had to find a pastor that I understood to fit for me. Absolutely. And you should be able to understand the word. And that's what I love about my pastor here in Texas, because I've been sharing with everybody that every single week I feel like he is talking directly to me. Every single week. And, you know, a lot of times, and it's not that he's preaching at you, he's teaching, he's breaking down the Bible and making it fit, you know, so you have a better understanding. And oh my goodness, and he is so hilarious, y'all. I wish I could invite all of y'all. Y'all would love it. I'm good, just tapped in to hear what you were talking about. Well, thank you for coming in to see what we're talking about. Again, we are talking about spirituality and religion, and I gave the definitions for both. And we are just talking about religious organizations or churches and different things, how things have changed. And everybody is just, you know, pretty much sharing their experiences and saying how they feel about religion. So again, thank you for joining. I appreciate it greatly. Bree says, send me the info. I'll be joining service. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Bree, listen, this is just a quick insert. When I tell you you will love it, You know, I almost can't wait for people to come visit, because I'm like, oh, you got to go to my church. My pastor is, like I said, he is super funny, super down to earth, super cool. And the man preaches the word. And I get something out of it. Every single week, I get something out of it. I am fed, spiritually fed, every single week. There's so much going on. And again, this is not to knock any other religious organization, but I love my church. And, you know, I'm so glad that I'm a member there. So I definitely will bring, yes, and I can't wait for you to come and check it out. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I bumped the table. But anyway, you know, I am so happy that everybody has shared their experiences. I don't want this to be a platform where we are just dogging the church, because like I said, there are so many pastors and ministers that are really preaching the word of God, that really want to see people prosper, and they are not stealing the money, they are not taking the money, they're not using the tithes and offering for their own monetary gain. But I do agree with Bree and Kai, like I said, of course, with the leading of God. You have to find somewhere that fits for you. I was out of church for so long because there were so many things that I had experienced that I said, I'm not just going to, now that I'm an adult and I can find my own way, I have to find somewhere, like you both said, that I felt like, first of all, I felt like I fit. You know, and I kept saying, I want to go visit, and finally I did go and visit, and I absolutely loved it. I kept saying, you know, oh, this is phenomenal. This is, and just going week after week, you know, I've gained so much and learned so much. And, you know, like I said, things have definitely changed. And I hope that everyone that's, Kai said, I love my church. I know that's right, because I love it too. But I hope that, you know, what we have shared today, hopefully you all are not in a situation where you have been turned away completely from the church. You know, and that's another big thing too. You know, again, Kurt, what's up, my guy? What up, though? Thank you for joining. But you know, I know a lot of young people that grew up in the church, and you know, they got old enough to make their own decisions, and they completely left because of some practices and some man-made things that were going on they didn't understand. And then they got old enough to kind of remember those things, and now they're like, you know, this ain't the truth. And then hearing other things, you know, the theorists and all that type of thing, you know, people with their own theory about church, you know, they just, now they have a different mindset. But we definitely, you know, you have to find somewhere that feeds your soul, where you can grow spiritually. And again, when I speak of spirituality, it's about one's soul and inner self. You know, you'll hear people say, I'm not religious, which they mean they're not a part of an organization, a specific organization, or, you know, these set beliefs, but they are more about their inner self and, you know, their own personal set of beliefs and practices and searching for the purpose of life. So again, I hope that even with being on here, you have to find somewhere, of course, with God's leading, that you can be a part of. John, hey, thanks for joining. We're talking about spirituality and religion, and how things have changed in religious organizations, how much things have changed, what up, how things have changed, and things being man-made, people being judged and all that type of thing. But there are definitely some great religious organizations, and I hope, it is my heart's desire that you all find a place where you can grow and where you can learn, because that's what it is all about, is everybody's growth and elevation to the next level, and developing your own personal relationship. Please don't allow things you see on social media. Please don't allow another person to sway you. You have to find, as mentioned before, a place that fits for you, somewhere where you can understand what is going on, somewhere where you can get an understanding about religion and spirituality, and not forcing you into doctrines and things that are man-made. There's a lot of things that go on, and a lot of things we see and hear that turn us away. And, I just don't want us to get stuck in a place where we like, all the church want is money. And I know a lot of people have experienced that. And again, I'm not putting down one or another religious organization, but I've seen it myself, where you have specific people that raise money for offering for church, and some people are comfortable, and they are in that place for years, and some people come to the realization that this is not ordained by God. Kai said, don't go to hell behind religion. Please don't. And especially the things, if it's not biblical, and you're being told that you should do something or be a certain way, or what am I trying to say? Or be a part of practices that is not biblical. You have to be careful with that. You really have to be careful, because again, I have experienced, people being dogmatic and saying, you have to do this, you have to, be this way or do this type of thing. And I can't say it enough. And again, I don't want to sound like I am downing one organization or another, but this is just the truth. This is just our experiences. And we have I'm looking right at my watch. We have 6 minutes left. With that being said, I would like to thank everybody that tuned in. I would like to thank everybody who gave a comment or shared their experience. Again, we talked about spirituality and religion, and I believe this is a conversation that could go on and on and on. And a lot of people have different thoughts and opinions about spirituality and religion, the differences, the things that they have experienced, personal things that they've experienced that caused them to leave the place that they were at and go somewhere else because they didn't feel the love, or they were judged, or they were talked about, or told something and they found out the truth, and now they're in a different place. So again, you know, you have to find the place that fits for you with God's leading. And, you know, go off that all religious organizations are not the same. And you have to go from there. I'm not sure who that was, but hi. But again, I just want to say I appreciate you all for joining. I was so excited about this topic, and I know, you know, it was more serious, you know, a more serious topic. But it to me, it was good. I appreciate, again, your comments and you sharing your experiences and your thoughts. That's what this platform is for. That's what this platform is for. And I don't care if it's just two people. You know, I want to open up so we can talk about these things, because so many people have had different experiences with different things, not only religion, but in life in general. You know, there's things, and of course, you know, again, we will have, you know, some things will be comical. Some things will be a little more serious. I don't really want to dive into sad, but guess what? That's life. There are things going on every day, and it's sad. You know, so we'll get into all of that. Again, I was so excited about this topic because I knew that a lot of people, oh, see you later. Thank you for joining. But I knew that, you know, a lot of people will have things to say. So again, if you are catching this on replay, please leave your comments and your thoughts in the comment section. Leave them there. We will go back and review. And as a reminder, something that I started doing the last couple lives, this live will be up for an hour after we have finished, and then it will be on YouTube at the Key and Kai Exchange, where you can go there and view it. If you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to get our viewers up so that we can go live from YouTube, so that I can join my Instagram and YouTube family together. I would love for all of us to come together. And you know, there's people that are on Instagram that are not on Facebook, and vice versa. Hi, sister. How are you? Thank you for joining. But again, please check us out on the Key and Kai Exchange on YouTube. And again, I want to join the two together on one platform so that we can all share our experiences, and there will be more people to join. Thank you so much. But yes, definitely check us out on YouTube. Again, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all for the comments and sharing your experiences. And again, if you have not gone over to YouTube, please go over and subscribe so we can go ahead and jump on YouTube, so we'll have more people to kind of interact with. I appreciate you all. I love you all so much. You all make sure you have a great weekend, and I will see you all Monday. So what I'll do really quick, what I'll do Monday is we got to talk about something fun. We got to lighten the mood here. We got to get some laughter going on. So yes, and please don't forget, if you have any topics or something you want me to talk about, since I'm on this platform, please, ma'am, sir, you can inbox me if you're not comfortable leaving them in the comments, and I will gladly take a look at it, and we can talk about it, because that's what we are here for. Again, thanks for joining this evening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for saying hey. Again, I appreciate you all and I love you all so much. So until Monday, I will see you then. Peace out.